Imagine a mosque without prayers. Imagine a home without family. Imagine a country without people. Well, imagine a mother without love and care. Imagine compassion without action. Imagine a bank without money. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah, the cream of creams, and you're welcome to Hard Talk, live on Tumpani Television and EP Radio TV. You are welcome to the edition that we are going to talk about money in Africa, Ghana, employment in Africa and Ghana, and unemployment. When I return, I'll introduce to you my guest. Welcome back. It's Hard Talk on Tumpani TV. Don't forget, go into your Google Play Store and download our mobile app, 2CTV, 2 as in number 2CTV. On all social media platforms, we are live, and it is EP Radio Television. Remember, on Instagram, it is EP Radio TV 2. Welcome back. My guest is the CEO of Mikensy Consulting Limited and also Unimas Microfinance Limited. He's in the person of Mr. Mike Osikoya. I pray I've pronounced his name very well. Sir, you're welcome to the show.
Yes, it's fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Great.
I deduced from your name you're from Nigeria. True or false?
Very true.
Let's briefly talk about your business. What do you do?
Okay. I started, I was a banker. I was the chief finance officer of a Capital Bank.
Okay.
And from there, I moved on to Energy Bank. After about 15 years in banking, I resigned to start my own consultancy outfit, which we call Mikensy Consulting.
Okay.
And that has been in existence for about 7 years now, because I launched in 2013.
Okay.
And ever since, it's been going on well. And that was what brought about the microfinance, or Unimas Microfinance. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Unimas, Mikensy Consulting is a management consulting firm. They train institutions and help organizations that are struggling to come back to life. I've done that for a few number of years, and we have also helped organizations who are going through turbulent situations to find their feet. That's what we did. Then we got into microfinance about 2 years ago. There was a struggling financial institution that approached us that needed some support, which we injected some money, and then to the glory of God, the business is running, and then they are doing well.
Wow.
Fantastic.
That's very good. I'm happy since the banking and the microfinance collapse came through, it never got to your end.
No. It's there's something interesting that I will let you know.
Okay.
That if business is going through challenges, there are two things you need to ask. It's either money or the brain. Because money plus brain is equal to profit. Is either the money that you have in business.
That's quite an interesting one. Money
plus brain
is
equal to profit.
Wow.
Yes. When company is struggling, you either find out whether the money they have is not adequate or the brain behind the business is not adequate.
Wow.
Then, if it is money, you go out and look for money. If it is brain, then you need to either increase the capacity of the people there or change the leadership. That is how business gets to the top.
Wow.
Good.
So business is faring very well.
Fantastic way to work.
How is business like in Ghana as compared to Nigeria?
Well, the two environments are almost the same, apart from the infrastructural differences. Yeah, because basically in Ghana, almost all the basic things that make business to thrive are available: electricity,
Let me
security.
pause you there and find out, getting to register your business in Ghana and doing same in Nigeria, which one is cumbersome?
What I won't say is cumbersome.
Okay.
It's only that there's need for improvement, re-engineering to get it much more suited. Because Nigerian government is putting a lot of things in place, just like Ghanaian government. You understand me? But I mean, if you compare it to other climates where we hear that things are done much easier, we would think that we can still do a lot more improvement in our system, because it should not take more than 2-3 days for the business to be registered and get on running.
So let me find out from you, if you compare Ghana to Nigeria, which of them do you get your business quite registered early?
I think two of them are doing pretty well.
Okay.
You understand, looking at the context, because we still know that this is Africa, and then there are a lot of internal inefficiencies here and there, which government themselves are trying to fine-tune. It's not something that you can achieve within one day. But I mean, the issue of Guru boys are still a major concern to many people in Ghana, that we're coming and there's somebody wants to do that, then 2 days later you get your certificate and all the commencement business certificate and all that. You can go on running your business. But here, even to get your tax registration, to get your SNH registered and all that, it takes a pretty number of times, which is not good for business. Because if I'm coming to Ghana to start my business, I have my capital, I have my the registration certificate supposed to come in within a short period of 2 days, 3 days maximum. You understand me? Because I fill the form, all the documentation is necessary, there's no much due diligence you are doing, probably looking at my background or whatever. You just want to be sure that I have the right capital and I'm ready to do business, the new business here. Once that is done, then it should go on 2 days, 3 days maximum, 1 week.
Maximum 1 week.
Yeah, things should be done.
You see it's being possible in our country.
For sure. If it is done, it's applicable in other climate. What is making it difficult here? The people that are running show there, they're human beings, they went to the same university like us. What's the challenge? The issue is that we should make sure that we continue to re-engineer.
Ghana, if you don't pay something small to them, Charlie, it won't come on.
For sure, we know that's part of our system, but those are the things we need to think about how to eliminate. What is making people to...
Every government have been trying to eliminate, and we hear stories.
Leadership. Leadership. Let me give you. If I talk about leadership, number first thing you need to know about leadership is courage, ability to face brutal fact. I need this thing to be done. Why is everybody talking about Kagame? Kagame is brutal when it comes to getting results. That is what we need. In any situation where you want to get results, you got to face the fact. Whoever is making things difficult for your government, you get to take him out of it.
No, you are taking my discussion to leadership. Let's talk about African leadership. How much of a leadership have we provided for this continent, of which out of about 6-7 continents we have in the world, Africa with all the resources, we are still crying in our poverty, abject poverty.
Sure.
The severely unemployed youth and what have you. What is wrong with us by way of leadership?
Leadership is because we have people who enjoy the office of leaders, but they are not prepared for leadership. Generally, that's what I've seen in Africa. Because before you become a leader, there are basic stuff that you need to prepare yourself. Because preparation leads to promotion. And when you are not prepared for an office, you enjoy the serenity of the office, the siren and all those places, boss. But you are not really a boss. You understand me? Let me give you 5, 6, 7 characteristics of a good leader. Number 1, you need courage, ability to face brutal fact. 2, you need competence. That is, you know the subject before somebody brings it to you. 3, you need commitment. And commitment is the soul of soldiers. When you see somebody is leading, he must be committed more than the other people. Number 4, communication, ability to sell your ideas across to people is important. And then you talk about creativity. A leader must be creative because that's one of the right things.
Out of these 5, where are we lacking as African leaders? Where?
Number 1, I would say courage. A lot of African leaders are not bold to face facts.
But they can talk.
They have communication. But boldness is key to getting results. You understand me? Because you also need competence, preparation, understanding of the challenges, and how do we face it. You see, you come to me and say, I have a problem with money. I said, how did they get into the problem? We call it 5 W's and H. Why, where, when, how, and how do we go about it? If I know your problem, I should be able to provide solution. They have been born in Africa. They know our problem. They know that the challenge we have, 1, unemployment is a major issue in Africa. Is that right? Resource control and ability to manage what we have is another issue. Then why are we not running after people who will come here, take our something, and give us some small money and say they are helping us? You see, the resources they are using to give us money back is from here. Then we should be able to sit down, tax our people, tax their brain. How do we turn these materials or resources God has given to us to billions of dollars that we don't need to think about other people? We can do that. We have the ability. We have the human resource. But the leadership aspect of it is what we need to work on. And we can get that.
Some people think it's a deliberate ploy by Western world to get hold of our leaders, to get them thinking like uncourageous, relax in decision making, so that they can milk our continent.
Then go back to history and look at the past leaders we have. People like Nkrumah, for instance. Some great people from Zik in Nigeria, for instance, Kenyatta, and all those great people we have heard about them. Why are we not replicating those kind of people who are thinking futuristic, who have long vision for their continent. You understand me? We have leaders of this generation that always believe that we can always go and beg and look for money. That translates to our economy. Where can you see the money? We cannot just be declaring we are going for money, we are going for money. At the end of the day, we are not seeing it translating to the lack of people. The issue is that we need to sit back and ask ourselves, what do we need seriously in this continent? Is it employment we need to fix? Or the industry we need to fix? Or the infrastructure or whatever? You need to have priorities. That is number one. You set a priority. These 2 years, this next 4 years, this government is coming, the National Assembly or whatever they call them, MPs, should set the agenda for the government. 4 areas we want our administration to give us. The manifesto is different. That is to win election. But now we are coming to government, then these 4 key areas are the things that our people is interested in.
Let me remind you of something, and maybe you will laugh about it. For about 18 or 15 years, we have set up a national commission planning.
National Commission,
Yes.
Planning Commission.
Yes, and it's been like a toothless bulldog, and it's just there, and we are paying staff over there.
Sure. Because who appointed them is government. You understand? And they put their people they like. You understand? People that cannot face them. You understand? If you want results, you need to be open. You need to be transparent. You need to be bold. I've given you some of the characteristics of attribute to be a good leader. You understand? You are passionate about your people. You want to see transformation. You want to see country moving forward. And this is not issue of me coming back for another 4 years. My 4 years, I should have something that people should remember me for. And 4 years is a long period of time for you to transform.
They say it's too small.
No, that's not true. You understand me? If you are serious and people are seeing the impact you are making, then you don't even need to beg them. They are the ones supposed to be campaigning that you should continue what the good work you are doing. But here, it's opposite way around. We are the one that we are begging that we want to come back again. To do what? When we are not seeing result. Why do European leagues sack coaches when they are not getting result? Because you are appointed to give us result. It's the result that they use to measure people overseas. Here, we use talk to measure performance. People can talk very well. That's the people we plan for. And that's why we're not getting result. And because when we blame the leadership, we should also blame our followers. Because the followers don't know what they are looking for.
Let's use Ghana as a case study.
Good.
Since 1957, we gained or regained our independence. I'm not sure we have still gained our economic independence.
No.
When are we going to do that? In your
Right.
estimation?
We can start it today because journey of the 1,000 years begins with first step, and that is where the people in government must make that bold decision. We want to see the next 10 years. We want to change. This is 2010 and 2020. By the turn of event 2030, this continent should be a different continent.
Do you see the current leader planning to the effect that by 2030, 10 years from now, we could reach that economic independency for our country, Ghana?
For sure, it is possible because the resources are there. The human resources, there are 3 M's, 4 M's that make things work.
Okay.
Men, material, machine, and money. Is that right? What we lack, we have men, we have material, we have machine, or we don't have it, but money can buy machine, and we need money. Now, if the brain is there, remember when I said money plus brain is equal to result. Now we have men who have brain. Then we need money. Money, we will not have it, but we can borrow it. Is that right? Which with the intention of paying back. Once the money comes, let us deploy it to the right sources, and then we get the kind of result we want to get. Look at UAE, for instance. What transformed that country? Where were they before? They said it's a desert. And the country has transformed that the whole world is now coming to UAE. It is human being that made transformation. How many years ago? 30 years ago. And the whole world is talking about UAE. Ask yourself, is it difficult for us to transform Ghana to become a world tourist center where everybody wants to come? It's not an issue of money alone. We need boldness.
I love it when you say it's possible, but my key question is, do you see our president and even the followers, Ghanaians, pacing the way that will make it happen? Like what is happening now? Do you see that our expenditure, the way we are consuming, how we are doing our things, do you see that we would hit there?
We can and we will if we are interested in getting results.
Is there any interest? Do you see that interest?
The interest, the commitment is what I cannot see. Is that right? We hear the talk, but the commitment must go with it. Because the commitment of the leadership is what drives the followers. If a leader is committed to a particular objective or goal, and then you mobilize everybody, because that's part of the leadership. You give direction, and people knows that where you are going is going to lead us to somewhere which we call vision, clarity of vision. If the clarity of vision is clear, then to mobilize people becomes easy. That is what we are asking our leaders, not only in Ghana, Africa generally, to give to us. You understand me? Look at South Africa. South Africa was a place where people want to go before. But have we been able to transform that part of the world? Every day we hear of crisis, killing, and all that, fighting other African people. Is that the kind of continent we are looking for? When Euros are trying to bring themselves together, we are killing us. We are fighting every day. What is the problem with us?
It looks like everything has to do with leadership.
Sure.
Do we have to deliberately or consciously find new leaders for Africa so we can transform this continent?
No. You are not going to go outside the continent to get leaders. We have them here. But the right people are not coming forth. They are always afraid. They are afraid that one way or the other, maybe they don't have the money, maybe they are going to be killed, maybe something going to happen. That is why a lot of people who are competent, who are ready to transform the economy of the part of our world, are not willing to come forward. But when we make the field very, good for everybody to play in, then you see the right people coming forward. It's not issue of money, it's the intelligence, it's the smartness of the mind. You understand me? Look at young men living in Europe. But what do we have in Africa?
Old men.
75 to 80.
Old men.
People who are supposed to be retiring. Listen to Jack Ma, the executive chairman of Alibaba. He said, by 60, I want to go and be playing with my grandchildren. Because he has used 40 part of his year to transform the economy of the country. He's thinking of becoming number 5 largest economy in the world. That's the company. What kind of vision do our leaders are carrying in their heart? We should get to a point where we are talking about leaders in their youthful age, between 40 and 60. Whatever contribution you want to make from the year you leave university at 25 to 60 years, you should have done best. Whatever you can offer.
You have a constitution that grants you the constitutional nod to be able to be voted for as president, pegged at 40. How can we be talking about youthful age to lead a country like Ghana in Africa?
It doesn't necessarily be below 40 years.
Okay.
Is that right? But there is a space between 40 and 60. That's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
That's a lot of years. Once we start crossing 60, 70, you understand me? That should be time for you to rest. Is that right? You have done enough. You see us, guide us, our people that are coming behind you. This is the way we do it. This is the way we do it.
Because of what you said, let me cite this example. I think John Mahama was below 60 when he was president.
Yeah.
How do you assess his performance by way of his economy?
One thing is this: I don't like going to political discussion. Let me tell you, when it comes
But
to
did he do well in management of the economy?
honestly, in terms of infrastructure, I mean, as an objective person,
Because we want the youth to also come in.
You understand me?
Yeah.
As an objective person, he did a lot. You understand me? But maybe Ghanaian did not see a lot of investment he did there.
Or they didn't communicate to Ghanaians well.
Well,
Okay.
because if you talk about the international airport he built, fantastic. The roads, the Dubai, they call it, that he has put in place and all that, easing the traffic and all that. He has done a lot.
Yeah.
It's just like this in government. The investment they are making in the area of education is massive. It's appreciable. We clap for them for that.
Okay.
But beyond infrastructure, how can we talk about sustainability of our economy? Not depending on foreign aid, not depending on China or other part of the world. We generate money here. We should be able to use that money to transform things. That's what I'm saying. And that leads us to issue employment.
When you have the diasporans come to Africa and they want to make space so they can create and ensure that a country like Ghana, year of return, beyond the return, and they come back and they say the atmosphere, the business atmosphere in our country is not conducive.
Sure.
And they return.
It will continue to happen because we are not innovating enough. We are not thinking ahead enough because they have been in a different part of the world where things are working. Where you wake up, you make a call, you send mail, everything is working. But you come here, you have to be running after an official government to get your approval to do this thing, and for 2 years, 3 years, an approval has not come out for a particular application you are making. And you want to
Why
invest.
isn't that?
It's because our system, people profit on chaos. I don't know whether you have read the book written by James Peter. What's his name? Something Tom Peters.
Okay.
Yes, he said thriving on chaos. Some organizations enjoy that. Some institutions, like a country, enjoy thriving on chaos when things are not going
Messed
well.
up.
Yes, that's where people profit. You understand me? And those are the things we need to kill. If you don't kill it, you kill our economy. Where people enjoy or celebrate things that are not working. You see, when you go to ministry, they deliberately want to delay your fathers. I'm not saying in Ghana, it's generally in Africa. You understand me? They want to deliberate, the boss is not available. Then you have to be begging. You want a space of bed. They say, oh, they have taken all the beds. There's no space in the hospital. You have to, that is, try. But if the thing is in excess, you don't need to beg. Just move your car from that place to another place and you get service.
Daring you to accept this opinion of mine.
Okay.
That in the next 50 years, Africa will be like this. Nothing will change.
I pray it won't happen like that. Is that right? Because we have new generation of people who are thinking. Nobody wants to remain poor. Let me tell you something. They said that the only thing that makes people to remain the same is when you don't want to change. Is that right? And change is a continuous process of transforming from dissatisfaction to a position of satisfaction. It's like me living in a one-room apartment and I want to marry, I want to have children. If I continue to live in that one-room apartment, that means I'm comfortable with it. But if I see my condition is not pleasant and I don't want to remain here, then I need to take action. And the action is what is the mother of change.
His name is Mr. Mike Osikoya. All right. He's the CEO for Mikensy Consultant Limited and Unimas Microfinance. After the break, I would beg him to share with me detailed reasons and detailed analysis of how we can get all graduates in Africa, especially in country Ghana, employed. How can we do that? Do we have to do this by paying much attention of agriculture or much attention into agriculture, technology, industrialization, changing our educational setup? What do we have to do? Right back. Welcome back, and we're still live on Tumpani Television. This is Hard Talk live on Tumpani Television. This is EP Urban Radio and Television. Go ahead and check us on all social media handles, and it is EP Radio TV. On Instagram, it is EP Radio TV 2. Download our mobile app from your Google Play Store, and it is 2, the number 2, CTV. Thank you very much. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah, and I'm here with the CEO of Mikensy Consultant Limited and Unimas Microfinance Limited, and we are talking about Africa and how we can get you employed. Let's talk about unemployment side.
Thank you.
How can we get our people employed? There's a huge number of unemployment in Africa and of course Ghana.
Sure.
How can we get them employed?
Right. If you look at our system, basically there is no data to tell you how many people are out of employment or are looking for jobs. And it's a challenge because maybe the system allows it or we deliberately don't want to do it because we must know how many people that we need to employ. And if you don't have the basics, you may find it difficult to solve the problem. That's why census is important. You need to know the number of people you are catering for as a father to be able to take care of all the family adequately, provide for their needs. Now, how do we go about it? Every year, universities in the continent are throwing out a lot of people to the labor market, but the jobs are not there. How do you want them to take or get on with their life after school life?
They should go and do entrepreneurship.
That's one way out. You see, because a lot of people are looking for white-collar job because our system of education is thinking of where do I look for job. Today alone, because I am to consultancy firm and I do a lot of recruitment, GhanaJob.com is our business. A lot of people be calling us every day. Is there any placement? Is there any placement? I get worried. How many people can companies speak? I think the solution should be more practical approach. We as government in Africa, look at it that we cannot give job to everybody, but we can facilitate job creation for everybody. Let us think about it. This particular season, COVID-19 has opened opportunity for Africa to borrow money at zero interest rate from World Bank, from IMF. If Ghana is willing to transform the economy in the next 4 years, what do they need to do? Approach IMF. I have a challenge in unemployment. My population is over about 1 million people who are looking for a job. But I need to do a turnaround situation. This particular round, take $1 million. If you multiply that by exchange rate of 5.5 today, we're talking about 5.5 billion. And you are going to tell your people, if you are employed, you're a graduate in this country, and you are looking for a job, I want you to go to either Ministry of so and so, in fact, type of employment, or go to your regional assembly and do registration there. Or you create a platform where people can supply basic information.
There is a small scale or COVID-19 innovation program being rolled out where 600 million Ghana cedis has been given out to.
Yes.
You know about that?
I know about it. Let me tell you. That's from the National Board of Small Scale Industry,
yes.
NBSSI. You see, that one is for businesses, that small, medium enterprises.
Micro, small.
Medium enterprises. That's what they are going to do. And look at the number of people they said applied. 200,000 people. They fight down by 600 million. It's just 3,000 Ghana cedis, which is not enough to last. You can't pay the salary of 2 people in an organization. What can that do? But we are talking about empowering graduates who have spent 4 years learning in school. Now, their final year, you should include entrepreneurial skill training for them to know how to start their own business. You don't need to wait for anybody to give you a
our learning processes in our country, our system of educating our citizens, yes. There's a problem with that.
It's a problem because we train people to go and look for a job, not to employ people. If it's not boldness, people like us will not go into business because we are not trained to launch into business. That is what I'm saying. And introduce 1 year training of capacity building on how to start a business to people. Let industry practitioners come into university and train them, build their confidence up. That failure is part of life. If you fall, Bible says a righteous man falleth 7 times and rise up again.
Yes.
Is that right? If you start a business of your own and you fall, you rise up again. Go and look at the man that invented the electricity. He said 9,099 times he failed, and 10,000 times he got it right. The fear people have is that when I launch my money into business, I fail, and then that's the end. No! You see, let me go back to what I'm saying.
Okay.
If government take about $1 billion from World Bank or IMF and say, I am using this money to transform my economy and make sure that no unemployment in Ghana for the next 4 years, we want to wipe out unemployment. How are they going to do about it? Okay. Then you get all the graduates who are looking for a job, who have confidence, who want to get into business, to go and register and prepare a robust business plan. And that business plan is what they are going to submit to an audit firm. Those people that are trained to help them go through it and critique it. And when they critique it and say that, okay, this business plan makes sense to anybody, the money government has taken is not going to be disbursed by the government themselves. They will give it to a deposit-taking financial institution.
Okay.
Who will be given at a reasonable rate, maybe 5%, maybe 7%, for 3 years moratorium, and tell them if these people are recommended from our audit firm and then they have met all your criteria, please give them this amount of money. They are my children as a government. I know them. I have their certificate. I have their international passport. They are going to run away from this country. Give them maximum 50,000 Ghana cedis to go and start something they want to do. The people that want to go into agriculture, they go to the agriculture. Those who want to go into fashion designing, they go into fashion designing. Whatever line of business you think of, let people get into it. Within 2-3 years, each person will be employing 3, 4, 5 people. And within 5 years, 100,000 will turn into 500,000.
You have given us free consultants as a country.
I tell you. These are things that I wrote an article about. Wow. Government upon government are trying to do it, but they translate it into political issue. And that's what I told them in the article. That you don't need to bring politics into this. If you really want to solve unemployment, get a consultant, people that understand business to help you to do this thing. This is a life saving. This is something that will transform the economy. In the next 5 years, you will see your economy robust.
The key thing is that you have to win the next election. You have to maintain your position as president. You have to.
Okay, continue.
You have to ensure that you get your party members to also be more than satisfied, so they can be interested to do campaign for you and get you voted back into office.
But beyond winning an election, what about legacy? That you see, why are we talking about Nkrumah tomorrow? It is because of the legacy he's laid, he planted for this country. That is the kind of leadership we should be thinking about. What kind of legacy do we want to leave for this country? When I leave that, even 4 years, 8 years, that I am the person that transformed unemployment and nobody in Ghana is thinking of unemployment again. He said, what did you do? I have invested $1 billion into this economy, and every Ghanaian qualified can now start a business. Let me tell you something. The benefit of it is too much for somebody not to look at that aspect. Number one, immediately to put money into the hands of people, you empower them. They cannot stand on their own. Now, these are people that will be supporting the government at the end of the day with taxation they want to be paying. Number two, you reduce crime rate in the country, because people that engage, they cannot go back to think of killing people or going into crime. That's number two. Number three, the issue is that the multiplier effects of that transformation means that the economy will start getting a lot of revenue as a result, because these guys that are producing, because of their knowledge base, they can now export and they generate a lot of millions. That $1 billion you have raised from the international bank in the next 5 years is bringing 5 billion every year back to you, in terms of the amount of things that these people are producing and sending outside, and people are buying because of their knowledge base. They can open up the business, they can connect with themselves, there can be partnership with different type of people, and then you start seeing the economy in a different dimension. The solution to our challenge is transformation of our youth, because the majority of African countries have youth, strong youth. The Bible says something. The glory of the youth is their strength. Now, these are people that are strong and they are healthy. They can walk and they are ready to see success because they are born in.
Are we failing our youth?
Seriously, we are failing them. Because we give them assurances that when you finish from school, you will get a job. But you can think it from your own family. You can have 3, 4, 5 people who have finished education that they are not getting job. You that is working, that is one of the giving them 5 cedi, 10 cedi, 100 Ghana cedi, and all those things. How long will they continue to do that?
Let me share another one with you. Probably you will laugh about it. There was this gentleman whom I met, and he told me, Kofi, I keep hearing, education is the key. Education is the key to success. We've gotten ourselves educated, but it's obvious we have the keys, but the politicians, they have changed the lock.
I laugh. That's true. They changed the law. But education really is not one. I think that's one we need to change the mindset of our youth. Education is divided into 5. Number one, the first level of education everybody has is the one your parent gives you. We call it home training. They will build it up, how to relate with people, how to do things, and then how your future can be better. Number 2, you go for academics, which we call normal education, where everybody is from primary to secondary to university to any level. That one is the key that you are talking about. Because the word of God says the gift of a man opened the door for him. Now, when you have education, it's a key to your hand to open your world. But education does not stop there. You need professional education. Like every trade, like all of us say, we have our trade. Then you need to exhibit understanding of that area. That is professional this. Because when you go to hospital, you will see a doctor who is well trained, then somebody we call junior doctors learning under him. In truck business, you will see a driver and a mate. Mate is learning under his master. For those that do medicine, you will see the male bricklayer and his own small boy learning under him. That is how professionalism world is. You learn under somebody before you become great. Number 4 is the one we call financial trading. And that is one of the things that's missing in Africa. We don't know how to generate money, to use the brain to bring money to our pocket. And that one, nobody trains you. You need to develop yourself.
But Nigerians, I think you have it.
Because the environment make it to be for you to think, because it is a hard environment. You got to bring the best out of your mind to be able to survive. It's the survival of the fittest. And that's why you think Nigerians, anywhere they go, they are a bit aggressive. It's not a bad thing for people to be aggressive. It is when you are aggressive in a wrong side that people should not like.
Then number 5.
The last one is spiritual training.
Okay.
You got to know more about God. Whether you're a Muslim or a Christian, it is the knowledge. When you go to church, you see people writing when the pastor is preaching. What are they doing? They are taking notes. They are being educated on the aspect of religion to know how God can transform your life. Therefore, when you combine the 5 levels of education together, you have a complete person. But here, we emphasize more of academics. And then a lot of people, after that, they don't know what to do with their life. But you got to balance it. It's a balancing act.
Let me take your take on corruption in Africa and how it is impacting on joblessness of the African youth.
Seriously, it's one of the major problems we have. Because the money that's meant for generality of the people to transform the economy, 1 or 2 or 3 people who are privileged to be in good position want to convert it to themselves. That is absolutely madness. For somebody who is in a position of trust, stealing public wealth and denying millions and billions of people.
And nothing happens to him.
Yes, because the system allows it. The people that are making the law are part of it. That's why they cannot create a law that will jail anybody or sentence them to death. It is when our lawmakers feel that this particular issue is a major problem to us, and they put a clause there that whoever is found guilty in the area of corruption, stealing money, life imprisonment, and all the actions he has taken should be consequences.
They will all stop.
They will stop. They will stop.
Let's get some more education for business persons watching us live on Tumpani television. And as COVID-19 visits the world, there's been a lot of transformation in the business cycle.
That's true.
And everything has gone to zero.
Yes.
What should one do as a businessman around this time?
Seriously, you need a lot of thinking. And thinking is thinking through what should be done. I would say that I like a stakeholder engagement. Who are the stakeholders in your business? That's the people you need to talk to. 1, your employee is involved, your shareholder is there, your management is there, your supplier is there, your customers are there, the government is there, the community where you work is there. There are about 7 stakeholders. And each of them have a stake in that business. And for you to see that business coming back on life or resetting, then you need to meet with them. For instance, let me take employee.
Okay.
You need to call your teams together. Guys, you can see the situation in the country. But the only solution to this challenge now is productivity. I will expect every one of you to double your productivity twice of whatever you are doing before. Once productivity increase, that is the solution to the depression. Because productivity is required for you to solve depression. And once employees are ready to increase their productivity and ready to make a bit of sacrifice, maybe salary the same, or even agree to a cut in salary, then before you know it, the company is going back to pre-COVID-19. That's number 1. Number 2, you approach your shareholders, those people that have invested in the business. Guys, we have a challenge. We need more money to turn things around. If you have more money, inject it here. And don't expect dividend for these 2 years, because we have gone through a terrible period. We are not going to pay dividend this year, and shareholders agree that we will not be expecting anything from you. And if you have money, we'll bring more money into it. The business come back to life. 3, you go to your customers. You need to do a lot more sales for us, particularly this period, because we have lost about 3-4 months of this year. Now, if you can double your purchases from us, it will help us. Then you mobilize them. And then they will do that. You go to government. And I expect that government in Africa should be thinking at this time that companies have gone through terrible times. I remember sometimes when I was in banking, there's one thing that government of Kufo introduced, they call it reconstruction levy.
Okay.
That is, every company, because Ghana was trying to come out of a challenge then, every company that makes super profit has to pay 5% of their money. Now, government can go back and give reconstruction bonuses to companies. Instead of charging them their normal 25% tax they should be paying every year, I'm giving you 5%.
Okay.
Out of the 25, I'll give you 5% to re-engineer your business. And when you do that, you are saving your future income by government. Because government will come back to see these companies are bouncing back. You can make more profit and make more taxes for them. But you need to give them a tax break for this 1 year or 2 years for all of them to reset. Is that right? In Europe, you hear bailout.
Yeah.
They give bailout to support companies that are struggling. You may not have cash to give them. This 600 million investment or 1 billion government to do may not be enough for the company. But if you give 5% tax rebates, tax holiday to some of this company, it will help them, and then in the next 2 years you reap your money back in abundance. Is that right? And finally, community where these companies are operating, you tell them this is not the time for you to be troubling companies in your locality. Whatever you can do to support this company to remain, because they are coming back to give employment to your children, then support them. Instead of crisis agitation, we need this road, we need this money, we need this thing, because nobody will be talking about CSR this year. Is that right? Companies are thinking of how to survive. There are 7 important objectives of company: profit maximization, customer satisfaction, employee satisfaction, growth, and survival. Survival is everything what everybody is looking at now. Nobody is talking about profit. And Jack Ma, the executive chairman of Alibaba, said if a company is able to survive this year, that is enough profit for them. They should celebrate. Wow. It's amazing.
Many countries have major businesses gone down the drain already.
Sure, it is true. Because, people are not going to work. For 3 months, offices are locked. Transactions are not going on. How do you expect them to pay their salary? How do you expect them to keep their contract? And what? Many contracts have been cancelled for one reason or the other, because the other party are not willing to, go on with the business.
Then how do we expect you ending the show without telling us where we can locate you so we can come for more consultancy?
All right. Interestingly, we are in Accra. We are based in Accra.
Okay.
Mikensy Consulting and the company I manage, Unimas Microfinance, we are based in Accra at La Paz. And we are on the website. If you go to www.mikenseyconsulting.com, you will see us there. And then for my microfinance company, unimasmicrofinance.com, you will see us there. We are ready to give support to government, to people, based on the knowledge God has given to us. We are open to discussion, and if there's anybody, even if your business is going through challenges and you need somebody to give you insight as to how to come out of it, we are available to support you.
Thank you very much, sir, for coming.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Absolutely. And I always say a cream leader loves to be poor to see his people rich than to be rich to see his people poor. I want to be one of them to ensure that my people are rich. Well, I know God will bless me. I won't be poor.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being there for us for the past 45 minutes. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah, and this has been Hard Talk. It's the cream of creams. Thank you so much. And like I used to say, the chameleon changes color to match the earth, but the earth never changes color. God bless you.